Hi, welcome to YTV and this week's segment of Everybody Has a Story. Rajiv Surendra is an actor and model best known for his role in the 2004 movie Mean Girls, and he joins us today. Rajiv, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Cody.
And we were able to procure a Yale Letterman's jacket.
Yes, I love this jacket.
So let's get into why that jacket is important, this role that you had in 2004. Did you ever imagine that it would become like this cult classic that it's become?
No, not at all. None of us did. I don't think any of us did. There was definitely never talk on set about the potential of this movie becoming a huge phenomenon. And no one involved in the movie at that point was a huge star. Tina Fey was known for SNL and Weekend Update. Lindsay Lohan was mostly known for The Parent Trap. Freaky Friday had just come out, and so when we were shooting Mean Girls, she'd be recognized here and there. But no one was a big star, and so shooting this movie was a wonderful first experience for me in terms of shooting a feature film. There were no divas on set. No one had a huge ego, so we were just like a big gang of comedians trying to have fun. And I really feel like that contributed to creating this wonderful movie. We shot it all in Toronto, and I'm a Canadian. Our high school experience is somewhat different from the American experience. We don't have jackets like this at high schools in Toronto, so there were a lot of elements of the film that were fictional to me, but I think the girl world side of things was perhaps, relevant to anybody going to high school. Now,
I know you weren't originally the one cast in that role. What exactly happened in getting the role?
I wasn't originally supposed to be trying out for that part. They were looking for someone Chinese for the role of Kevin G. His name originally was Kevin Noor, and I went in and I actually tried out for Damien. So I tried out for it. My agent was like, "Do you want to try out for this part? He's this big flaming gay character." I was like, "Yeah, sure, absolutely." I was trying out for anything, and I went in and I left and I thought, well, I did my best. And then they called me back and they're like, "Can you come in for this other part?" So I went in for that part, for Kevin G, and I could not for the life of me remember the rap for my audition. I think we tried it like 3 times, and then I basically said to the casting director, like, "That's my best shot." So.
And how similar do you think you are to the character that you played in that movie?
Not at all. That's why it was so much fun to play. I went to school with a lot of guys like that. So in Toronto, there are a lot of East Indian immigrants, and their children, whether they were born in India or Sri Lanka or were born in Toronto, I saw firsthand a lot of these guys doing very well at school, but being very conscious of trying to be cool. And it was very funny. It's something that they got made fun of a lot without even knowing that they were kind of ridiculous. So I modeled this character on that, and it was a lot of fun. I actually was taking calculus in high school, and I was getting 13%. That was my grade when I decided to drop out. That math was not for me. So it was really nice to play someone who was good at math.
Well, that was my next question is, were you any good at math?
No. Horrible at math, horrible at physics. I really wasn't good at the maths and
sciences. So you wouldn't have gotten the limit problem?
No, not at all.
What happened after Mean Girls in terms of film? Did you stay in acting after that?
I actually went right after Mean Girls to India to do research for a part that was supposed to start shooting that summer, and it was The Life of Pi. On the set of Mean Girls, I was given the book after being told that I was exactly like the character, and when I found out it was going to be made into a film, I really threw all my eggs into one basket and thought, I'm going to do a bunch of research for this part and be ready for it when it comes up for grabs. It ended up taking 7 years to make the movie, and I stuck with the project through those 7 years, turning down other parts. So that's why I kind of disappeared.
Well, and you're I understand, trying to write a screenplay about that experience now.
Yes, I'm actually here at Yale tonight giving a motivational talk about all of my efforts to try to land this part. It was originally just supposed to be a few months of doing research, and every year the movie kept being put on hold, and I was already invested so much in it that I kept going and going and going. So it was a 7-year long journey, and it ended with me not getting the part. At the end of that journey, I was really faced with an internal conflict of whether I looked back on that experience with a positive view or whether I just pushed it aside and tried to forget about it. And it really was life-changing in a good way. So that's what I'm here to talk about tonight. I think that it is a wonderful story, especially for kids in college who in a couple of years will be facing this open door with the question, now what? And I also feel that a film version of this journey would be very beneficial to North American audiences.
But now I understand you're involved in calligraphy and chalk art in New York. How did that come about?
I've always been interested in lots of different artistic ventures. So since I was a little kid, I sculpted things and I painted and I drew. Calligraphy was something that I just started teaching myself when I was like 10 years old. Someone had given me these old letters from the 1800s, and they were just handwritten letters, but the writing was so beautiful that I was kind of inspired to take these letters to elementary school and copy the letter forms when we had writing exercises. That grew into being very proficient with writing beautifully, and somehow it turned into a little side business.
Well, we always end these interviews with a speed round of kind of a quick, fun questions.
Okay.
First one, what would the burn book say about Rajiv Surendra?
I don't know. He'd like you to get out there and shake that thing?
Second one, what co-star from the movie are you closest to?
Daniel Franzese, who played Damien.
She asked me how to spell orange.
He used to live in New York, and he comes back and forth regularly. I live in New York now, so we hang out a lot.
Next one, does my hair look sexy pushed back?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say definitely push back.
Great.
Not forward. Yeah, totally.
Book you're currently reading?
I'm reading actually Amy Poehler's book, Yes Please. Someone gave that to me and said it was a good read. So
I assume you read Bossy Pants?
I did, yeah, and I loved it.
What does your business card say?
Let me give you my card. My business card says, letters in ink, Rajiv Surendra, New York. Actually, could you hold on for 1 sec? I have it in my bag. I could show it to you. I think you'd be really impressed.
Okay.
Okay. You might not be able to read it, though.
That's okay. We'll zoom in on it.
Okay, are you ready?
Sure.
Are you sure?
I'm ready. Wow. You're right. I'm having a little trouble reading it.
It's more of an art piece than a business card. And you have to show them the edges. They're gilded in 22 karat gold on the edge of the card. Yeah,
Whoa.
that edge right there. So those are engraved by Smythson. They're engravers to the Queen of England.
That's a badass MC.
Exactly.
Alright. This is probably the coolest business card I've ever seen.
So fetch.
Well, thank you. I'm honored.
There's no James Bond III on here, though.
No.
And the last one. Do you remember the rap?
Oh, you sucker MCs ain't got nothing on me. From my grades to my lines, you can't touch Kevin G.
I do. Bits and pieces of it. I don't perform it, so...
Well, I was going to ask. I know that you don't perform it, but what your favorite line from it was?
My favorite line was actually cut.
Really?
Yeah, it was Mean Girls was written, and the script was very, very crude. There were a lot of dirty jokes, and there was a lot of cursing. It was actually going to be rated R, and then as we were filming, the studio decided that the target audience was much younger than a rated R audience, so they started having us cut out lines, and jokes were changed. So Made Out with a Hot Dog was originally not made out with a hot dog, it was doing something else with a hot dog. And
we'll leave that to the imagination.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that was one time!
And in the rap, there was a part that went, "It ain't no trick, I am this slick, all the 9th grade ladies want to suck my what?" And that was cut.
Why would they cut that?
Well, it wouldn't have made PG-13.
Oh, that's fair.
So.
And one more, do you ever wear pink on Wednesdays?
No.
Rajiv Surendra, keep doing your thing. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Cody. Thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
And as always, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Cody Pomerantz for YTV, and this has been Everybody Has a Story. See you next time.
Happy holidays, everybody.